going on, Saucey fam? How's everybody doing, man? Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you're doing well. Got a Patreon request for you. This one is interesting. This was sent in from a very active Saucey fam member, Miss Annika or Annika? Annika? I'm not sure. I'm never sure. Again, I'm about as cultured as the bottom of my shoe. So, sorry. Hopefully I got them right. Hopefully I got one of them right. Hopefully one of them is right. You know what I'm trying to say. Leave me alone already. God. She wants to hear this interview from Mr. Avi Kaplan. And I gotta tell you, so do I. So here we go, man. Let's check it out. If you guys are new here, subscribe to the channel real quick. Throw a like on the video for me. Both of those things help me a whole lot. Oops. And I really appreciate it, guys. Seriously. Let's jump into it. Annika. Sorry, dear. I'm going to go with Annika for the sake of the video. Hopefully that's correct. You let me know if not, and I'll slap myself on the wrist. Sound good? Annika, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being a patron. Thank you for being a Saucytron. It means the world to me. Let's check this out. Thank you for this request. I can't wait to hear what he's got to say.
Hi and welcome to the Arc Radio YouTube channel. Brand new channel for you where we will be highlighting some of our interviews that we do across the station and putting them on here for you with video as well. Up first, we've got the wonderful video of the interview with Avi Kaplan.
Avi.
Please, if you want to see more, do hit subscribe, and you could even ding the bell so you get notifications. But that's enough of me. I'll let you get to Avi. I'm delighted to be joined now by American singer-songwriter Avi Kaplan. He is best known as his basso profondo range. And
I'm sorry. I'm literally listening to I Can't Lie in my head now. That is such an awesome song. Ugh. Such an awesome song. I don't know if you guys saw it, but he put out a little contest on his YouTube channel on the community page yesterday? Or for me, it was yesterday. Where you can do all these things to get several entries, and first place prize is 2 tickets to any show of your choosing. Obviously for me it would be either New York, or Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Those are the only 2 that are a realistic drivable distance for me. So I entered, and the grand prize is like a video meet and greet and a whole merch bundle. So yeah.
By American singer-songwriter Avi Kaplan. He is best known as his basso profondo range and his tenure as the vocal bass of the a cappella group Pentatonics from 2011 to 2017. As a part of that group, he released 5 studio albums, won 3 Grammy Awards, and sold over 6 million albums, which isn't too
I didn't know that. Wow.
shabby. In 2017, he went solo, and he is now on the verge of releasing his brand new debut solo album entitled Floating on a Dream. I'm delighted to welcome Avi to the show. Avi, how are you? And thank you for joining us.
I'm doing well. I'm so happy to be on this side of the world. And yeah, I'm just excited.
Yeah. When did you get here?
I got here 2 days ago.
Okay.
Trying to beat the jet lag before I get started with the shows.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, before we go any further, all is well. I must say, I fell on your music through Spotify, of all things.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I was just absolutely taken by All Is Well. I Can't Lie is also now the current single from the forthcoming album. That's on our new music playlist this week.
Amazing.
How does it feel? Because obviously very much your Pentatonics, huge sort of group, but you've really sort of completely changed direction going solo, haven't you? So I suppose two questions in one, really. First of all, how does it feel being more in control of your own destiny? I suppose because you're going solo, and why did you choose to change direction?
Oh man. Well, it feels amazing to be in control of my own destiny. To be able to control, the just the pace that I go at, how I'm creating my art, is just it's huge. Um, and I the thing is that before I started with Pentatonics, this is always the music that I've done. This is always the music that I've written, always the music that I've listened to. It's music that I grew up with. And so for me, it feels like I'm coming back home. But for other people, it feels like a big curveball, a left.
I've never mentioned that, but I've always wondered if that was the case. That's really neat to hear him say. I thought that already, just because of how natural it was for him right away. Very cool. I can't wait for the rest of the album to come out, by the way.
I'm coming back home. But for other people, it feels like a big curveball, a left turn. So for me, it feels like a homecoming. It feels like I finally settled back after a flight.
Ah, that's really interesting. I mean, I imagine you've got some amazing memories of being with Pentatonics.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, but now
Absolutely.
you're going more with your feelings and you're where you want to go. I suppose is that fair to say?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I was saying, it's just this is the music that I've always written. It's been the music that I've always listened to, and so it's been a really, really beautiful experience.
Oh. I was just looking up the release date. I didn't realize it's the 20th of May. So this is going to be a big Avi month. Yay.
To be able to delve into the stuff that's really in my heart. And it's been amazing to, you know, feel support from the old fans and gaining new fans, and people discovering the music that I do and then finding out later that I was in Pentatonics. It's good. I'm excited for people to recognize me more for what I'm doing now than what I did before. But
He was amazing. And I think that's part of what makes it so amazing to me is how amazing he was in Pentatonics. And it's not who he is creatively. You know what I mean? It's not like it's light years away, but it's pretty far away from what he naturally gravitates towards creatively. I would kill. I would kill to have this opportunity to ask him some questions. I have so many questions for him. I'm fascinated with how amazing he did in Pentatonics. Because anytime, like, the dancing and stuff to the top 40 type music, you could just tell. I don't know. I could anyways. I just always kind of, when I watch that stuff, it's like, it's incredible. It's mind-blowing. It's amazing in every way. But at the same time, I don't know. He just puts off a different vibe. It's like you could just tell. And here, what he's doing now, I mean, good Lord, does he look at home? Does he look happy? It just looks like he's doing everything that he's wanted to do, Which, not to take away from those years with Pentatonics. I think he needed those years. I think he probably grew a bunch, performing-wise. He had to have learned so much from that process. And so I think it was necessary, his journey, I think it was necessary for his journey to take the route that it did. I would just love to ask him some questions because it's amazing to me how well he did during all those years and creating all that amazing music. And then now doing what he's doing, I don't know. You can just, it's so natural, man. It's such beautiful, heart-touching music. And it does that sort of stuff to you, to us Avi fans. It does that stuff to us because that's where it comes from him, It comes right out of his heart into ours. I hope someday this channel grows to a point where he sees value in sitting down for an interview with me, because I would, ugh, I can't even put a word on what that would mean to me. I think I could come up with some pretty good questions too. I must say so myself.
But I also I honor what I'm excited for people to recognize me more for what I'm doing now than what I did before. But I also I honor what I did before, and I love what I did. I'm proud of what I did. Um, I'm just excited for the future.
Yeah, you obviously write a lot, and certainly the three tracks from the album that have been released thus far, you've had a hand in. What influences your writing, Avi? What is it that you that take?
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna just guess. Family, life, and emotions from life. The emotions that he feels from life experience. That's my guess.
Takes you to the place where, because I mean, you write not just lyrically, but instrumentally. The pieces are beautiful and really
Thank you.
transportive. I wonder where that inspiration comes from.
Well, I listen to a ton of music. I've always done a lot of composing and arranging and writing, and this is kind of where I get to put all of my creative elements into one place, into one. I channel it into one place, and so it's been really, really exciting to do that. Um, the inspiration, like I said, comes from other music. Um, it comes from traveling and being in nature. Um, it comes from being alone, and listening to myself and listening to what's inside of me. And it also comes from just working out that muscle, continuing to write. When I'm writing, I write every single day. When I'm in the studio, I'm in the studio every single day. Um, I I can't put something down until it's finished, and I can't finish it until it's finished right. So it's been really cool to channel all that energy into this music because um, it's really just what I love. It's just a dream.
Yeah,
Huh.
and I mean, I'm unfortunately not going to get to see you live this time, but I'm very excited for when you do come back over to Europe because I
Yes,
can imagine it
absolutely.
again, that sort of transportive feeling. What can people expect? Because you're in Manchester and you're in London,
Yes.
before you then depart, and I've got quite a comprehensive tour around Europe actually.
Yeah.
So what can people expect from the live show?
Still a lot of harmony. I am still a huge harmony fan, so there's going to be a lot of harmonies, a lot of three-part harmony. Um, it's going to be an eclectic vocal set for me, up and down, lower register, upper register. Um, if there are songs that you may hear them in a different way, lots of different arrangements, different keys. I really like to, when I write a song and I've played it one way, I like to try to arrange it in a totally different way, in a totally different key, give it a totally different feel, just because I enjoy the arranging aspect of things. Um, and I would say that
That's fascinating. I would love to hear him. I would love to hear. I'd love to see him live, I guess, right? That's what I'm trying to say, I suppose. I would love to hear that. I would love to hear these songs of his that I listen to almost daily arranged in a totally different way, which naturally is going to give a different feel. I would love to hear that.
if you come to the show, that it's going to be a good grounding energy, very rooted. I'm very very excited for people to feel what we're putting across in the set. I'm excited for the set that we put together.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really fascinating and so much up personally my street because I love it when an artist takes something that you might know and then sort of almost takes it apart and puts it back together. So it's the same song,
Yeah.
but it's totally different. I think the artistry in that is is quite magnificent. You are a very busy man. I'm just looking at your tour schedule. Just between now and the end of March, you've got 9 dates in almost as many days. Is this your first time as a solo artist, sort of performing and touring around Europe?
No, I actually came. Oh man, I don't remember what the year it was, but it was right before the pandemic.
Right.
So I guess what 2019,
2019.
2020. I
Yeah.
don't know. The years are no longer existent to me. But I came over for a very short tour, and this is definitely the longer one. So I am excited.
Yeah, I can well imagine, and it sounds to me like it will be incredibly special. How does it feel? I suppose being now solo, and I'm more thinking about how you are in the public eye, I suppose, because now you are yourself. You're in the public eye as you, whereas obviously as part of Pentatonics, it was a group. Have you noticed any difference, any change in people's perception of you, or anything really, that maybe the spotlight's more on you rather than maybe being you as one of a group?
I don't know what he's going to say here, but I feel like it's going to take some time, even longer, to truly separate. I think it's going to take some more time to truly separate himself from that image. Just because of what they did. I mean, what they did in that time span between winning the sing-off, all those albums, the 3 Grammys. I mean, it's a big deal. It's a big deal what they did together. So I think it's going to take a little time from a public perception standpoint to truly become his own. Because I still, now granted, I'm in a little bit of a different kind of a unique vantage point in the sense that I'm reacting to Pentatonics on a regular basis. So I still see him in their music on a regular basis. But I think that's probably true for a lot of people. I can't imagine people just stopped listening to the music that they made during those years because it's incredible. It's amazing. So you're constantly reminded of the Avi Pentatonics days, right? And it wasn't, I mean, what, 5 years ago he left now? This year makes 5 years. So, I don't know. I just think it's going to take him a little bit of time to truly separate himself and truly be known as Avi. You know what I mean? And not the bass singer from Pentatonics. He's on an amazing, he's had an amazing start to that journey. But I do think it's going to take just a little bit of time for that to become like a distant memory sort of deal. Which there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing to be ashamed of. What he did with Pentatonics is amazing. So I don't even know if it's necessarily a bad thing. That's not what I'm trying to say. I just think that as far as this gentleman's question to Avi, that would be my thinking on it. I'm very interested to hear what Avi has to say.
I think that things have changed. I mean, I think that, Pentatonics was all over the place all the time. I think I got more recognized back then. But when people do recognize me these days, the reaction, the interaction, the type of human that recognizes me and wants to say something to me is different. It's more on my wavelength. It's more.
I can totally see. Absolutely. Okay. I totally can see that. Totally can see that. Because honestly, if I were to have had the opportunity to just say a few fan words to him during those Pentatonics days, it would be nothing like what I would say if I had the opportunity to say a few words to him today. Obviously, what he's given us musically on his own, it's changed my life in the 3 months that I've been listening to it. Completely changed my perceptions, my energy at times, the way I look at things. Like, I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. It's just, it means too much to me for it to not happen. And I really feel like I could convey just how much his music has meant to me. And I don't know. I take him as the type of person that he could never hear that too many times and it will always mean something to him. That's just my opinion. Maybe not, but he strikes me as that kind of guy.
Is different. A human that recognizes me and wants to say something to me is different. It's more on my wavelength. It's more just kind of matches my energy. And and that's not a good or bad thing, but it's just an observation. And I think that it's just a different feeling when I'm speaking to people now, because before I was covering other people's songs and I was rarely even singing lyrics, and now I'm singing lyrics that are very deep rooted in my heart, and so the interactions are just different, more emotional,
Yeah.
deeper.
This album, which I mean, I know I can't tell you how much I've enjoyed what I've heard of it so far. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Thank
Produced by Shooter Jennings, of course, a rather famous son
Yeah.
of Waylon. What a way to announce yourself to the world with an album, though, with
Absolutely.
that huge name. You've also obviously had Joy Williams guesting. So how did you go about putting that team together to bring the album together, to make it a reality?
So with Shooter, my label, well, so I'm on Fantasy, which is a part of Concord, and Shooter's become kind of like a in-house producer. And they sent my music to him, like, a lot of my demos, and he was like, let's do it. He wanted to meet me immediately and talk about the music. And so he came out to my place in Tennessee. We hung out on the porch and just talked for hours. I think we spoke for probably 4 hours, just hanging and talking about music, and me showing him different songs that I've written, and then different reference points for the production that I wanted to do. It was just a big time of like just dreaming things up together. So that's kind of how that all got put together. It just kind of felt like it was kismet. And then with Joy, I'd actually met her a while back. Just did some industry things. She'd always been super, super kind. I was a huge fan of her back in the day, still am. And she was always just really, really kind. And then I got new management when I left Pentatonics. And one of my managers, I'm managed by 3 people. One of my managers also manages her. And so he got us together for a write. Nashville's a super, super collaborative place. A very, very new thing to me, writing with other people, but I've really gotten into it. But anyway, so I went to go write with her, and we wrote All Is Well that day, and we put together a demo and we sang together, and it felt so good singing with her. And then when it came to lay down the tracks, I asked her if she wanted to be a part of it, and she said absolutely. And the rest is history.
Yeah.
It came out so good. They sound so incredible together.
I can't wait for the album. It comes out on the 20th of May. It's slated to be released. Is there any reason to believe that'll move?
No, I do not think it'll move. It's moved many, many times behind the scenes, but not this time.
That is really, really good to hear. Avi, thank you for joining us. It's been a real pleasure chatting to you and learning a bit more. And I am very, very excited to hear the album in full when it comes out. And just in case, because we do have listeners around the world, and you are in, just very briefly, I'm just going to reel these off. You're in Luxembourg City, Cologne, Germany, the Netherlands at a place I'm not going to try and pronounce. Utrecht in, is it Utrecht? Is that how you say it? I think that's how you say it. In the Netherlands. Yeah. Hamburg, Germany, Copenhagen, Denmark, Berlin, Germany, Warsaw, Poland, Krakow, Poland, Vienna, Austria, Prague. Where else are you? Munich, Zurich, Paris, before you head back to Nashville. And that first gig back is on the 21st of May.
Yes.
Have a wonderful time Avi. And are you hoping to come back before too long? I think is the final question I'm going to ask you.
I really hope so. I love coming over here. I always have. Love the people, love the culture, love the food. Um, it's just all around beautiful over here. So I'll be back as soon as I possibly can.
Well, I will be there in the front row with tickets. That I can promise you that. I really
Can't wait.
Fantastic. Thanks ever so much, Avi. Take care.
Yeah. See ya.
See you.
Heaven, hell, wherever I go, all is well in my soul. All is well.
Oh, that dude. Love me some Mr. Kaplan. Cannot wait to see him live. And like I said, man, I just can't wait till this channel gets to a point where someone like Avi would see it beneficial to him to do an interview with me, because I would just love to pick his brain a little bit, and just not even from like a, I don't think I would ask the typical questions, I guess. I'm much more interested in the emotional side of things, much more interested in the life perception dynamics and things like that, because I'm so into that sort of stuff, and that's why I gravitate and just fell in love with his solo music so much, because that's my thing. That's just, I love stuff that touches you. I love stuff that's just grounded and, like he said, rooted. I don't know. I just love the way that he thinks, and it's pretty obvious by how significant his music has been to me. It's, I don't know. I just can't wait to experience some more of his art in whatever way, shape, or form that may happen. I know a lot of it's going to happen right here, right on this channel. So if you're looking for that, if you're interested in that, if you're excited for what's to come, hit that subscribe button for me. Throw a like on this video, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. Again, Annika, thank you so much for your support. Thank you for being a patron. It means the whole world to me. You Saucytron, you. And to everybody else, I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves and each other. Stay safe out there, guys. Peace out, Saucy fam.